I'm so happy that as we approach the release of Rise of Skywalker, which is only like 10 days away, I literally keep on forgetting that we have a Star Wars movie coming out in 10 days, which is just crazy to think about. We are getting more of the cast members that are kind of more openly speaking their mind about how they feel about like the Star Wars trilogy, Disney Star Wars trilogy, and like especially like The Last Jedi. And John Boyega has definitely been kind of one of the leaders in kind of sharing his feelings about what he actually thinks. Now he has some really interesting things to say about The Last Jedi, but kind of about this Disney Star Wars trilogy in general. And I kind of want to talk about this quote specifically from him here, and from this interview that he did with Hypebeast, which it's a pretty interesting interview if you want to go check it out. But so he says here, The Force Awakens, I think, was the beginning of something quite solid. The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest, I'd say that was feeling a bit iffy for me. I didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the choices in that, and that's something that I think he's supposed to say that I spoke to Mark a lot about, and we had conversations about it. And it was hard for all of us because we were separated. I guess the original Star Wars films, there was so much more of a trio feel where it was essentially about Luke's journey, but Han and Leia were there where there was a strong dynamic, which I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to establish that long-term dynamic with 9, but if it's exploring that dynamic, then that would be cool. Which is very interesting to hear from his perspective. He's saying that there's a lot of things that he felt iffy about when it came to The Last Jedi, which, you know, I'm sure that Mark Hamill felt the same way. I mean, we kind of know that he does by now. You know, George Lucas isn't a fan of the Disney Star Wars trilogy either. So I'm glad that there's more and more people that are actually being honest about the Star Wars trilogy, about the Disney Star Wars trilogy, and the fact that it's not good. The Last Jedi, like, I actually agree with him here. The Force Awakens, I think, was the beginning of something quite solid. I actually agree with him here. But it had to continue to develop into something greater after The Force Awakens. I was like, okay, you know what, The Force Awakens, yeah, it's kind of similar to A New Hope, but I think that's kind of supposed to just kind of, you know, bring people back into Star Wars in a way, you know, both old fans and new fans. And I thought that was kind of cool how they did that. But then moving forward, they're going to have to develop this into something much greater than The Force Awakens. And The Last Jedi was definitely not that. And it sounds like Rise of Skywalker is not going to be that either. It sounds like Rise of Skywalker is going to be just as big of a disaster as The Last Jedi was, which is just crazy to think about. But you know, I'm glad that they're kind of speaking their mind here. And I totally agree with him here. You know, it was about the trio in the original Star Wars trilogy. And we lost that when The Last Jedi came around because they weren't a trio anymore. They were completely separated. I think they only met up in like the last, like, what, 20 minutes of the film, 15 minutes of the film altogether again. So, you know, and then if they're going to be trying to scramble to kind of make us care about these characters in Rise of Skywalker, it's just not going to work out. Like, we have, like, you know, C-3PO saying, taking one last look at my friends. And it's like, okay, how on earth did these people suddenly become your friends? Like, you've known them for like 2 minutes. So it's just ridiculous. And I just don't care. Like, and that's the thing, is that I feel like a lot of people don't really care about this Star Wars trilogy anymore. Like, I'm just not feeling the hype for Rise of Skywalker from anybody. And I've been hearing a lot of reports that, you know, the opening weekend for Rise of Skywalker is looking pretty lackluster in comparison to like the previous Disney Star Wars trilogy movies as well. So I don't think this movie is going to be that great on, you know, a performance level as far as like in the box office, and also it's just not going to be that great from a creative standpoint either. I just don't think it's going to do that well at all. And I completely agree with what Boyega is saying here, and I'm glad that he's kind of speaking more openly about what he thinks about the Disney Star Wars trilogy, and I hope to hear more of what the cast members think about this trilogy as well, especially after Rise of Skywalker comes out. And, you know, we've had like people like, Oscar Isaac, people have been like asking him like, would you do a Disney Plus series about Finn? Or Poe, rather, and he was just like, nope, nope, not gonna happen. So, you know, I don't think they really have an interest in trying to stay within the Star Wars universe as these characters either. So with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think. Go check out my channel, Josiah Rises, if you want to as well. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and with the way that things are projecting, it looks like I should be hitting that. So I'm very excited about that. So go check out my channel as well if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.